A common complaint I've been hearing from a lot of people is that you try making trap metal and then it ends up being something too melodic and too happy, or that doesn't really feel like it's angry at all. For that reason, I decided to make a video that's going to be helpful to a lot of people, hopefully. This is just going to be how to force yourself to make trap metal. So for starting your song, people, like for any genre, you can start with drums pretty much, or melody. But with trap metal, if you're trying to force it, then it's ideal that you go for like a melody that is really bad on purpose or very noisy and non-melodic. So for example, I have inside of the new Pandemonium kit, which is releasing on the 7th, I got some one-shots in here that I made in Serum that are just like FM horseshit. You can use stuff like that. You can use stuff like this where it's all like percussion and weird shit. Something else I like to do is I like to take percussion hits and just try making something out of them. Things that have a tone usually work better, like this. You can hear dun dun dun. Whereas that, you can't really hear a tone. It's just like dum dum dum. But it also, again, does not have to be non-tonal. But if you make it non-tonal, it's easier to work with. So I'm just going to take this perk. Has a little bit of tone. We're just going to normalize that. Make it real loud. Do the usual to it. Now you have something we can play with. Obviously, this is not how you would start other genres, but we're going to start it this way. We're going to tune it by going to the flag, detect pitch regions. We got A#6. Sometimes if it's non-tonal, it'll tell you C0, or if I can't find it. So I'll just set that to A# real quick. Yeah, so now we just have to come up with like some random dog shit. I like to work in the scale of Phrygian dominant because it has basically only tendency tones. I cover this in another video if you're curious of what that means. Let's work in A. Why not? So we're going to put this in whatever key we feel like. And then we just come up with some random dog shit. So obviously, trap metal, you know, like tendency tones equals, wow, interesting. You don't have to do that, but it's how I prefer to do things. I usually always use Phrygian dominant. I'm going to go for something more energetic. I want to make something like really hype. So we're going to go for like a higher tempo. One of the strengths that will help out, but you don't necessarily need to do this, are hearing melodies in your head before you get them. I personally heard this and I'm like, tuka, 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 tuka. But if you're not able to do that, something that can help out a little bit is just like taking syncopated rhythms and finding big beats. So you, if I want to ignore that, I can just take big beats right now. Like I can just do that. So we have a little bit of like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Start with something simpler and then you complicate it. So syncopation makes melodies really nice. What that basically means is making things offbeat. So we'll try to go for like casual dung dung dung. Something weird. Now, obviously 2 notes is very boring, so you don't have to do this, but we can spice it up. I'll just like, usually how I do this is I make like a row of tendency tones, and then for every single one set, I do like the bottom, 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 and then top, top, top. You don't have to do it that way, but I like to. Like, so these would all be a pair, and then all of these would be a pair. Just so we have like 2 major chords that are next to each other. So, I don't know, we'll just... With short sounds like this little percussion hit, something that really helps is putting delay on it, because it just fills up the space a little bit better. There we go. I guess I'll just do like phaser to add something for it to work with ping pong wise. And if I add distortion, it'll probably make it louder in the attack. Something I'm hearing is that there's like a little sub click. I'm just going to remove that like this, so it doesn't become a problem later. And just like that, we have something kind of strange, slightly melodic that we can use to start a trap metal beat. Even though you might be enticed to add more layers, I would recommend that you go straight to adding 808s because that'll give you more inspiration for melodies. So we're just going to go with... Sure, why not? And my new kit coming out February 7th. Something else that'll help out a lot with selling the like idea that the 808 takes up the entire mix. You can do this manually, but I made a patcher plugin or preset called Master Clipper. You just this pops up on accident. You don't need to see that. But basically, yeah, EQ to wave shapers done. Boom, 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 and it makes it fat. For now, I'm just gonna set it to default and make it just like one wave shaper. Something I like to do with my 808s is I like to find out like after putting on distortion, this is the noise of the 808. That's like the main component. And then for the actual bass, you want the bass to be loud, but you don't want the rest of the 808 to overflow the rest of the beat. So what I like to do is I like to mix it like this, and then at the end, boost that into the living hell. I don't want it to go all the way up here. I don't want it to go above that. I don't want it to be super low. Just that's comfortable. I can always change it later. Right now I'm hearing a melody for the 808 high end. It's like, I usually make my kicks mono, just by doing that, because I don't like it when your kick is in the one side of your head. It's annoying. Another thing to make your 808 hit harder with your kick is you just hit sidechain like this, open up in the bottom slot a limiter, fruity limiter, and then turn this all the way up so it doesn't mess with it, and then go to compressor, turn up the knee all the way, and then turn this down, and then like you can play with these, the threshold and the release. I'll just do that right now. Oh, and also you have to turn this up to 1. Yeah, from here we can just start adding, sorry, I'm eating a sandwich. From here we can just start adding drums. Goofy ass snare. Actually, I'm gonna try a different one. Oh! Put like a clean snare over top of that to add more punch. It needs more noise in the background as the melody. What I said earlier. Just what I wanted, some shitty noise. This probably doesn't have a pitch. F. You know what? Sure, let's just go with it. Alright, cool. Now we can just put this up, go bing bang bada bop boop pow 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 boom boom boom, and then you move that because this melody should go next to the other melody because I said so. 808 boom 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 pop pow pow. You make a thing intro time. Maybe some drums to bring it in. Oh my god. And then like you know what I mean. And then drop. First one doesn't have 808 melody. Wow. Why would we want that? Stupid. We'll bring it back later. Add intrigue. And then we'll, yeah. Ta-da. You get the point. Alright, thanks for watching. This sandwich is so good, bro.